Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Raila Odinga today unveiled Martha Karua as his running mate for the upcoming general election. And one question which most Kenyans are asking is why Raila Odinga opted for Martha Karua and not Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Because most of Raila Odinga's supporters believe that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was the right candidate because of the numbers. And of course, there's those who support Raila Odinga who have never forgiven Martha Karua for 2007 stolen victory. But Raila Odinga still went ahead and settled for Martha Karua. In this video, I'm going to give you compelling reasons why Raila Odinga decided to stick with Martha Karua. And of course, before that decision, there were a lot of drama today. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka actually decided to ditch Azimio la Umoja movement and is going to go alone. And he announced his running mate. I'll do a comprehensive analysis about that Kalonzo Musyoka's move tomorrow. For now, I want us to focus purely on why Raila Odinga opted for Martha Karua. Before we do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, I want you guys to take a second or two and click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, why do you think Raila Odinga opted for Martha Karua? Why do you think? I want to be very brief and straight to the point. The truth of the matter is that Raila Odinga opted for Martha Karua because of these 5 reasons. Number one is shared history or the reform agenda or journey. William Ruto yesterday unveiled Rigathi Gachagua. And if you look at the history of Rigathi Gachagua and those of the deputy president, they also share a history. Those who follow student politics, when Rigathi Gachagua was a student at the University of Nairobi, what he used to do, he used to organize trips to State House. It is alleged that during those years, it's only Rigathi Gachagua who was able at one point to accompany former President Moi to a trip abroad. And that's what actually engineered the entry of Wafula Buke into student leadership at that time. William Ruto also shares the same story. When he was the student at the University of Nairobi, he used to be the link between the student and State House. And it's alleged that the person who was organizing all this was actually none other than Professor Mbidi. That Professor Mbidi used to use these students, Rigathi Gachagua and Ruto, to help him in specific task. And that's how Rigathi Gachagua ended up as a DO, and that's how Ruto ended up as a youth for KANU. So they share history. Raila Odinga and Martha Karua also share a history, and that's why if you listened to Raila Odinga's speech during the when he was unveiling Martha Karua, the history went further. Raila Odinga explained that as a young girl at the age of 24, Martha Karua, I think, served as a magistrate. And he went further that when he was arrested and very few lawyers were willing to take up his case, Martha Karua led a team of 27 lawyers. So it means their history started long time ago. And when Martha Karua was also given a chance to speak, she explained how Raila Odinga shaped the women politics in this country after the Beijing conference. So these two gentlemen, the man and the gentle lady, share a history, and they were part and parcel of the second liberation. So the moment Ruto unveiled Rigathi Gachagua, Raila Odinga then decided now to go opposite. So a line is now drawn, pro-reformist and pro-Nyayo. Let us wait and see how that's going to pan out moving forward. Number 2 is the game of numbers. And this is where most of Raila Odinga supporters were worried. that Kalonzo Musyoka has the numbers 2 million or 1.6 million for that matter. And the truth is, Kalonzo Musyoka and his numbers, probably he can't go wrong unless he's going to make, or unless the Ukambani nation are going to reject him. But the truth is, Kalonzo Musyoka has those numbers. So Raila Odinga is taking a gamble in the larger Mount Kenya region. The truth of the matter is that Mount Kenya has over 5-point-something million votes. If you look at the registered voters in Kiambu and Nairobi alone, that's more than the registered voters in Ukambani. And that's the gamble Raila Odinga is taking. Raila Odinga is looking at getting, let's say, 40% of the larger Mount Kenya region. If he can get 40% of the larger Mount Kenya region, and say in Ukambani they're going to reject him, but not fully, because Kalonzo Musyoka is going to run, he's going to get those Ukambani votes. Let's say Raila gets 20% or even 30%. Raila Odinga will be home and dry, based on numbers, assuming that the Kikuyu nation are going to vote for Raila Odinga. And already the reaction from the Kikuyu nation is promising for Raila Odinga. There are celebrations all over the larger Mount Kenya region, because there are certain individuals in the Kikuyu nation who are not comfortable with Rigathi Gachagua based on his past history as a DO in Molo. And then there are also those who are not comfortable with him based on his brand of politics. So let us wait and see. And the mere fact that someone like Professor Kithure Kindiki was forced out, and he has bitterly stated that he's going to support Ruto but not going to take anything in the name of appointment, it means he's also bitter. So in the larger Mount Kenya region, the Mount Kenya East and West, Raila Odinga hopes that the numbers are going to add up. The only problem is what will happen to him if the Kikuyu nation will not support his bid. He's banking on the support of the president. Will President Uhuru Kenyatta persuade the Mount Kenya region to support Raila Odinga? If that's going to happen, then the game of numbers is going to really matter. And of course, Raila Odinga and the larger Mount Kenya region, you know, they have never voted for Raila Odinga. So Raila Odinga is starting from an advantaged position that any vote is going to get from the mountain is an addition to what he previously got. Number 3 is the gender. And this is the big card. I was telling a friend of mine, a lady friend of mine, she was like, Raila Odinga is losing it. And I was like, the women votes in this country are more than men. The only problem is that women are normally the enemy of themselves. But for Martha Karua, the mere fact that she's going to be the first woman running mate, a potential president of the Republic of Kenya, is exciting the women. So I'm sure there's a percentage of women, even if that's not significant, who are going to vote for Martha Karua just on the account that she's a woman. And that's what Raila Odinga wanted to achieve. And already, the way she's been received, I've read articles on BBC and other international media congratulating Martha Karua, which means that move alone is a magic. And that's what Raila Odinga wanted to achieve, going against the norm. Ruto is looking for a hustler narrative. Raila Odinga is going for the women tag, is going for a reformist and kind of things. But the gender tag, in my view, is the magic here. It's going to help Raila Odinga. And you talk to most women, you even read their post, I think they're in agreement that it's their time to support Martha Karua. Although we know our politics is normally tribal driven. Number 4, in my view, I think Raila and Uhuru, because they're the engines behind Martha Karua, are trying to break away from the Kenyatta tag and the Jubilee baggage. That can explain why Uhuru Kenyatta was absent. The truth of the matter is that Martha Karua is a member of NARC, is the party leader of Narc-Kenya. Uhuru Kenyatta is the party leader of Jubilee. Jubilee was the one who was supposed to nominate the running mate. But Uhuru opted for Martha Karua. Why? Uhuru Kenyatta is the president of the Republic of Kenya. He has access to intelligence reports in this country. Those intelligence reports pointed to Uhuru Kenyatta one major direction. That if he nominated Peter Kenneth, most people would interpret it to mean that Peter Kenneth is going to serve the interests of the Kenyatta. If he nominated Munya, again, it pointed that he was going to protect the interests of the Kikuyu, of Kenyatta family. But the appointment of Martha Karua, in my view, is to break from that. Because if you look at the history of Martha Karua, she's always fought for democracy. She's always stood for the right things. And of course, even in the last election, Martha Karua believes that she won, but Uhuru Kenyatta's government rigged in the Kirinyaga governor and Mumbi Waiguru. So, and of course, there's also the Jubilee failures. Having someone from Jubilee who is actively a member of Jubilee and having Raila Odinga considered the handshake would have meant that they were going to share Jubilee failures. How can you tie Martha Karua to Jubilee failures? How? I'm just asking. How do you even try to tag Martha Karua to Jubilee failures? You can't. Of course, Raila, you can tag him because of the handshake and the rest. What about Martha Karua? She even opposed the BBI. She was one of the people who went to court. She's not been part of Jubilee. How do you tie Martha Karua to Jubilee? So I think these guys wanted a way of breaking away Raila Odinga from Jubilee tag, something which Ruto has been pushing for. You go for Rigathi Gachagua, he's elected on Jubilee. You go for Ruto, he's a deputy president of Jubilee. So the two cannot run away from Jubilee. Raila Odinga is coming as ODM party leader, despite the fact that he's part of Jubilee, part of Uhuru Kenyatta's handshake, but he's ODM. Then you get Martha Karua, Narc-Kenya. How do you then link these people to Jubilee? I think that's one thing which the president wanted to achieve, and probably he has achieved. Lastly, I think Raila Odinga also went for Martha because of her commitment to her cause. And he stated clearly that I'm going for Martha because she cannot abandon you midway. If you look at the history of Martha Karua, she stood with Mwai Kibaki, the last woman standing with Mwai Kibaki. There are things she did because of Mwai Kibaki, which means she's a fighter, she's a go-getter, and she's also no nonsense. So because of all those, I think Raila Odinga decided that the best person is Martha Wangari Karua. If you compare her to Kalonzo Musyoka, you realize that Kalonzo Musyoka is not steady. He takes a position, leaves the position, takes another one. You know, even the move to run for the presidency for Kalonzo is an afterthought. If Kalonzo Musyoka wanted to run for the presidency, he would have started it from the onset, not going outside there to endorse Raila. The mere fact that he endorsed Raila Odinga means he was not ready for the presidency. Then coming again, a lot of things changed. What changed? By the time Kalonzo Musyoka was endorsing Raila Odinga, he knew that Raila Odinga had a preference of a running mate. So that's why Raila is going for Martha Karua. If Martha Karua stands for something, she stands for something. When she opposed BBI, she opposed it. When she decided to pursue justice in Kirinyaga, she did that up to Arusha. So that's the person Raila Odinga is going for. I don't know what you think, but for me, I think that the choice of Martha Karua has been well received in the country and is likely to tilt the equation in favor of Raila Odinga. I also don't know, but it's my take that should an opinion poll be conducted in the next 1 or 2 weeks, the figures are going to be completely different. The other question I want to ask you, what value do you think Rigathi Gachagua is going to add to Ruto? People are saying that he's a mobilizer. Where are the records? Of course, he has money, which is important for election and campaigns, but Raila Odinga also is ready for this election. What value is Rigathi Gachagua going to add to Ruto? I want to read your comments on that. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye.